The fates in Umudara. In the ancient village of Umudara, wealth was valued more than kindness. Chief Nnanna, the richest man in the land, his wealth commanded respect. His son, Obinna, handsome, educated, and proud. At the edge of the village lived Adeze, the village poor girl, who was poor in riches, but rich in spirit. On the market day, Obinna stopped for Adeze. The rich man's son stood still for a poor girl. But it wasn't her beauty that held him. It was the way she looked at him, without fear. And when he spoke, Adeze did something no one had ever done. She refused him, not quietly, not gently, but with pride. And in that moment, everything began to change. After that market day, nothing remained the same. The rich man's son could not forget her, not because she was beautiful, but because she refused him. In a land where no one said no, she did. As Obinna's love grew, jealousy rose. The rich chief's daughter, Lola Mata, vowed to destroy Adeze. Rumors spread that Adeze used charm to capture Obinna. Soon the village divided. The rich supported Chief Nnanna, and the poor supported Adeze. Then an old secret surfaced, a secret buried in war during the olden days returned. Adeze was not truly poor. She was the lost daughter of a powerful king from a neighboring kingdom, stolen as a baby during war. And now the secret is out. Obinna must choose to obey wealth and family pride or fight for true love, and Adeze must decide to accept royal blood and leave the village or remain at Omodara to start her love story with Obinna. The rumors didn't stop. They grew worse. But this time, Adeze didn't cry. She made a decision. If loving Obinna meant shame, then she would face it with dignity. I will not hide, she said. But love in Omodara always has a price. Chief Nnanna had had enough that evening, so he gathered the elders. This madness ends now, he declared. That girl will never enter my family. And before the sun set, a message spread across the village. Obinna was forbidden from seeing Adeze, and if he disobeyed, he will lose everything: his name, his inheritance, and his place as a son. For the first time in his life, Obinna had something to lose. That night, he went to Adeze. I will choose you, he said. But if I do, I will lose my family. Adeze looked at him quietly, and then she said something unexpected. Then don't choose me. Because sometimes real love does not hold on. It lets go. But they didn't know. Someone was listening. And this time, the next move would not be rumors. It would be war. But not the kind of war they expected. Not fire, not weapons, not blood. This war began quietly, in silence, in truth. The night after their separation, Omodara was no longer the same. The whispers had turned into arguments, the arguments into division. Families chose sides. Voice grew louder, not for love, but for power. Because now, Adeze was no longer just a girl. She was a symbol. At dawn, the elders gathered. The village square was silent. So silent, and then one of the elders stepped forward. The one who had been listening. His walking staff touched the ground slowly. As every eye turned towards him, His voice was calm, but heavy with meaning. If this union happens, Omodara will fall into conflict. A silence fell over the crowd. Then he revealed the truth. Long ago, Adeze's bloodline and Chief Nana's family were tied by a broken alliance, a promise that was never healed, a wound that never closed, and now love has reopened it. If Obinna and Adeze continued, it would not bring peace, it would divide the village and awaken a struggle for control. This was no longer about love. This was about legacy and power. For the first time, Chief Nana said nothing, not because he had no words, but because the truth had finally reached him. He was not just protecting pride, he was protecting everything he had built from falling apart. Then Obinna stepped forward. His voice did not shake, but his heart did. Then let it fall. Gas filled the air. He continued, if loving her destroys this village, then maybe this village was never whole for the first time. Obinna chose love without fear. But love was not enough. Adeze looked at him, long, deep, like she was searching for something that was already gone. Then she slowly shook her head. No, Obinna, in a soft but firm voice, love should not be the reason people suffer. Her eyes did not break, but her heart did. If we stay, this will never end. That same evening, without noise, without farewell, Adeze left Omodara. No crowd followed her. No voice called her back. Just silence. Days passed, then weeks. The village slowly calmed. The arguments stopped. Peace returned. But it was not the same peace as before. It was quieter, heavier, because everyone knew what it had cost. Chief Nana changed. He became quieter, less proud, more thoughtful, because for the first time, he saw something clearly. That strength was not power, it was sacrifice. Years passed. Omodara grew. Life moved on. But some memories do not fade. Obinna stood at the edge of the village, at the same place she left him. The wind was soft, the sky was calm, and then footsteps. He turned slowly, and there she was, Adeze, not the same girl he knew. Stronger, calmer, wiser. They stood in silence. No rush, no tears, just understanding. And in that silence, everything was said. In Omodara, love did not fight. Love did not win. Love chose peace. And in doing so, it changed everything. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more contents like this.